You asked and I'm answering. This is the video where I'm gonna cover all of your questions from one of my recent tweets. Basically, everything about creative strategy, ad account structure, optimization, scaling techniques. So basically, everything that you guys wanted, it's here in this video. Okay, let's start with an easy one. How to reduce the frequency in the long run? Short answer, with the creative diversification. With more creative styles, more angles. I did a full video on creative diversification here, but honestly, it's the ultimate thing to reduce frequency. How do you test fresh creatives? As mentioned several times before, I test all of my creatives in ABO, where each new ad set is a new test, and each concept has a multiple variation of the same concept. That's because my goal is to get a winner from each of the concepts, not just one ultimate winner. What's the structure you follow for a fresh brand? Honestly, first doing the research to come up with the different angles, test those angles in previously mentioned ABO campaign. Have you ever shut down a product because of the poor performance, or have you tried to make it work? Honestly, I'm not doing drop shipping, but in the case that the product has bad performance and you're in drop shipping, probably just focus on another product because you don't have a stock on hand, and try to find a product that will get you more traction on the front end. What's your favorite prompt or AI hack in 2025? Honestly, I'm not doing much prompting. I'm mostly using AI for customer review analysis and for unlocking new angles. Is highest value bidding past its prime? Honestly, I don't think the value bidding all had the cheaper CPMs. It always had the highest CPMs, but it was followed with a higher conversion rate. It's just a matter of which you're ending up with a higher conversion rate than in a regular campaign. If CPMs would reason higher than the conversion rate, then the performance would be down, and vice versa. What drop-off are you looking to be under each stage in the funnel? So from click to landing page, I'm looking under 20. From landing page to view content, I'm looking at least 80% people proceed to PDP. From view content, which is fired on product page, to add to cart, at least 10 to 15% rate. Obviously depends on the AOV. From add to cart to checkout, at least 40, and from checkout to purchase, again, at least 40. These are, I would say, conservative numbers, but this is a healthy benchmarks. And obviously these are benchmarks from Facebook numbers, not necessarily from Shopify. Is the amount of ads you launch matter or the quality idea? Both. I'm always in a matter of quality instead of quantity, but whatever creatives you have available, I would launch them. I would never just not launch something just because, hey, I focus on quality. Launching more creatives increases your chance of finding a winning creative, and you're casting a wider net. Is there any difference when you're running ad account below 500 a day? Not really. I'm still running concept per ad set in my testing campaign, but only if the hit rate is too low, I would maybe switch to the CBO. If you try a completely new type of ad style, for example podcast, for the sake of diversification, do you give it a more wiggle room and test budget than in your usual business as usual testing? Not necessarily. I would give it a more wiggle room if I'm testing a new angle, but not necessarily a new style. How do you find gaps for a new ad account since you have no point of reference? For example, a conversion rate of 2 is not the same at the different price points and industries. Yes, definitely conversion rate is different based on the AOV, but I usually have a chart based on the average conversion rate and based on the average AOV, and then I can check, okay, whether this is with the healthy benchmarks, or you can check tools like Veros for benchmarking against other stores with the same AOV in your niche. Regarding the drops, honestly, I don't know in general what drops should be between each touch points of the funnel, but I covered them in one of the previous questions. How much time are you spending on content creation? Around an hour a week. A lot of my stuff is repurposed from my SOPs and my setup in the ad account. The other stuff are based on the things the client asks me, lead asks me, or that I spot in the ad account. I draft all of those in Typefully, and then on Saturday I rewrite it, I structure it a bit, and I schedule it for a week in advance. What's your go-to custom exclusion like? Mostly just buyers, both sync from Klaviyo and 180-day purchase from the Pixel. Sometimes if I see the frequency is high on a low spend, then I would add 180 days website visitors as well. Which AI UGC types of ads are working for your clients? Mostly AI avatars from ARCads, which we are using either as a standalone video or as a talking head on top of the B-rolls as a green screen. Are there any video formats other than podcasting, skit or street style working for your clients? Yeah, definitely founder style videos. If you have capability to do that, I would do that. Authority type, basically, let's say for a pet, if an ad is coming through the veterinarian, and mini VSLs. If Advantage Shopping Plus is automating media buying, what will be your role as an agency? Hey guys, like for the past 5 years, I'm hearing that media buying is dead and media buying is obsolete, but my agency is doing better than ever. Obviously, the role of a media buyer is changing, but there's still enough work for good media buyers. What's your go-to strategy when CPAs start creeping up? Definitely check what's changing, and there are only 4 metrics impacting your CPA. CPM, click rate, AOV, and conversion rate, and troubleshoot from there. What's your take on the ideal number of clients performance marketers should manage at once? At what point does the quality start to drop? It really depends how big the clients are, how much spend per their ad account there is, and what's the number of weekly tests. Usually proper accounts, not more than 5, but if you have super small accounts, then probably up to 10. If you're doing only media buying. How do you make decisions on an ad that take longer decision making, 7 to 30 days, on an ad that you won't see the immediate response in sales? You can use early indicators like cost per add to cart and cost per initiate checkout to help you guide your decision making, but usually I would just say extend your decision making to 7 or 14-day period. How many ads do you test with clients at different level of revenue? 1 to 10, 10 to 20, and 20 plus, and any other category you have data on these levels. It's hard to put a number. I don't have a benchmark for revenue, but I have a benchmark for daily spend. But I would test minimum 5 concept for account spending less than 5k a day, 5 to 15 for ad account that's spending at least 10k a day. Is there a strong correlation between the volume and the revenue? And how does it take the most winners to die in a bigger accounts? It depends on the quality and the hit rate of the tests. As I mentioned, I'm a bigger fan of quality, but you cannot get far without quantity. So in other words, you need that diversification. On the winner and how long it takes to die, it can be 2 weeks, sometimes it can be 6 months. There's no rule at all. It usually depending how strong the winner is and in what stage of awareness the ad is. If it's like bottom of the funnel, no matter if it's winner, it's gonna die soon. That's it guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If I missed any of the questions, just comment below and I'll answer it in one of my future videos, or I'm gonna reply in the comments. Hope you like this style of content. If you want me to answer some specific questions about your ad, you know where to find me. There's my Calendly link below.